Do you know what's the single most important job your kidneys perform? It's removing toxins, those harmful invaders that threaten your health every day. This is why, if your goal is a better kidney function, the very first thing you want to do is to aggressively decrease the amount of toxins your kidneys are exposed to every day. And when you do that, something incredible happens. You can witness a miracle, the kind of transformation that turns back the clock on your kidney health. My name is Catherine and I'm a doctor in natural medicine, and today I want to share with you the 8 best ways to stop the toxins from attacking your kidneys. And don't miss my number 1 in particular, because that one was used on a stage 4 CKD patient to get him back to stage 2. Before that, let's start with getting rid of a toxin that won't just give you bad breath and nausea, but that will also erode your kidneys and bones like you have put them in a vat of acid. Yeah, I'm talking about excess acid in blood, or metabolic acidosis. Now guys, if you want to avoid giving an acid bath to your kidneys every day, festivities included, start with the diet. My first advice here is to include as many alkaline foods as possible in your diet, and this includes mostly fruit and veggies. So let's take a look at this chart. Acid-forming foods are on the left and alkaline on the right. As you can see, protein-rich and fat-rich foods are about as good for your kidneys as salt in a cut, while grains play it neutral. They're the Switzerland of foods, and fruits and veggies are the alkaline heroes we all need. Typically, I'd champion kale, spinach, or arugula as the most alkaline foods in existence. But let's be honest, the goal here isn't to find the most alkaline food ever. Spoiler, it's spinach. But to find alkaline foods you'll actually eat without feeling like you have to. Alright? Foods that you actually like. So what about lemon juice, for example? A lot of people like to start their morning with lemon water, and that's great because while it's true that juicing lemons removes the fiber and some vitamins as well, you are still getting all the alkaline forming benefits this fruit has to offer, plus the extra hydration of the water. This is a double win in my book. So, what other juices could you make in order to get some hydration and some alkaline goodness? Well, vegetable juices in general are great. So if you have a juicer machine in some cupboard, time to make it shine. Put together your favorite veggies and juice them for a super healthy drink. One recipe you could try is cucumber, kale, pineapple, lemon. This is super refreshing and hydrating. Another one of my favorite recipes is cucumber, celery, spinach, apple, and ginger. Also full of health benefits with a spicy taste. But of course, you can also use the same veggies to make a smoothie and get additional fiber and vitamins in the process. Now, on to my second piece of advice. Avoid dangerous fad diets like they're your boss texting you at 7 p.m. on a Friday evening. Seriously guys, if your goal is to avoid kidney damage, avoid fad diets. So, let's talk metabolic acidosis. You remember the acid kidney bath I was talking about? Well, this is usually caused by either advanced kidney disease or by very bad eating habits. Think eating meat 3 times a day. I've seen, however, patients with early stage kidney disease eating what I thought was a decent diet still suffering from metabolic acidosis. They shouldn't have that issue, I thought, not without advanced kidney disease. So, in order to find out why patients in stage 3 had metabolic acidosis, I had to do a bit of investigative work. So, their diet's not terrible, their kidneys aren't failing apart, but why? Oh, why? Are they still suffering from metabolic acidosis? Want to know the culprit behind their acidosis? Fasting. Yeah, I know. Fasting, the thing everyone's suddenly obsessed with like it's some holy grail of health. But in people with kidney disease, it can cause your body to throw a metabolic tantrum. Let me break it down. When you fast too much, your body switches to ketone production for energy like in a keto diet. But wait, they say ketone production is a good thing, isn't it? Well, not if you suffer from diabetes or kidney disease. This process causes a huge amount of acid to be produced as well, which is often overwhelming for the kidneys. This is called ketoacidosis. So avoid doing fasting. There are easier and safer ways to lose weight. Like, I don't know, literally anything else that doesn't involve destroying your kidneys by turning your blood into acid. And do you know how I was able to help these patients? Number 7, sodium bicarbonate. So if you do actually have metabolic acidosis, as in your carbon dioxide level is below 22, you need sodium bicarbonate, or better, a prescription from your doctor for it. Always make sure you are being tested for carbon dioxide and that your level is 23 or more. And guys, it happened to me to find CKD patients with serum bicarbonate of 20 that weren't prescribed sodium bicarbonate from their nephrologists. Why, you may ask? Because different labs may assign different normal ranges to certain values. Some labs will only mark a level between 20 as too low, but for CKD patients, 21 is already too low. So even if the lab report says it's in the range, it's not always true. It should be 22 at least. And I will be a lot more comfortable with a carbon dioxide of 23 or 24. And that's why you need a competent doctor, by the way. There is no remembering all this stuff for a patient, but your doctor should. Up next, let's talk about how to detoxify. Number 6, proteinuria. So proteinuria is a huge problem for people with CKD, and the very first thing you want to do about it is following a low-protein renal diet. Okay, here's something super easy to remember. The first line treatment for proteinuria is the low-protein diet. So try to remember that. Protein, proteinuria, protein, proteinuria, protein, proteinuria. Here you go, fixed in your brain forever. Yes, that's what you do to lower your proteinuria levels. Avoid protein. Now guys, when most people think about reducing protein intake, they think about avoiding meat, fish, and cheese, which is a good start, no doubt about it. But it's only a start because, you see, the amount of protein you want in a renal diet, even for those without proteinuria, is tiny, which means that already by eating stuff not normally associated with protein, such as bread, rice, pasta, legumes, nuts, bread, and more, you can easily overshoot your daily protein target. This is bad because the low protein diet can make a huge difference in reducing proteinuria and in, making you avoid dialysis. But only if you are actually following a low protein diet. What to do then? First of all, you must be very careful with foods such as legumes, seeds, and even stuff such as bread and rice. Possibly have someone who knows what they are doing setting up this diet for you. Yeah guys, what I mean here is that the amount of protein you need is so low, you must even be careful with foods that are usually not considered high in protein. Okay, up next, number 5, let's talk about supplements and remedies that can help with proteinuria. There are various things that can help, including, but not just vitamin D supplementation, but also garlic supplements and omega-3s. But if you ask me to point out the single most effective supplement against proteinuria, I would say cordyceps. Cordyceps is incredibly powerful when it comes to stopping proteinuria. One study showed a 36.7% drop in proteinuria levels, and keep in mind that what helps with proteinuria helps with kidney health in general. In fact, some patients were able to lower their creatinine levels by 31.46% in just a few weeks when taking cordyceps. One more reason why I like cordyceps is the safety profile. This is one of those supplements that basically everyone can take. Okay, up next, our number 4, another substance we want to get rid of is excess fluids. You know that lovely feeling when your shoes fit perfectly in the morning, but by evening, it's like you're stuffing marshmallows into a keyhole? Yeah, that's what we're talking about, because if you think your feet are uncomfortable, imagine your kidneys. In fact, having too much fluid volume in your body is a cause for hypertension. So how do we get rid of this excess fluid going around the body? First of all, with the right dietary choices. Yeah, the treatment for CKD is big on the diet, and finding the right foods can really help. Let's begin with an underrated diuretic superfood. And no, I'm not talking about some fancy overpriced miracle powder from a wellness guru on Instagram. I'm talking about dandelion greens. Yep, that pesky weed you probably sprayed to oblivion on your lawn last summer. Turns out it was actually edible, and not just edible, but a natural diuretic. Yes, this herb can help in a safe and gentle way, stimulating the body, getting rid of excess fluid. Dandelion greens are also linked to lowered blood pressure, decreased inflammation, and even improved blood sugar control. And you can put them in a salad. Another food you may want to consider for your salad: asparagus. This superfood is one of the best friends of your kidneys. This little green stick of joy is a diuretic powerhouse, and research backs it up. Thanks to a special amino acid called asparagine, asparagus not only helps with fluid retention but also treats swelling. So if your ankles are puffing up like inflated pool toys, add asparagus to your diet. Fun fact, that weird smell in your pee after eating asparagus? That's just the asparagine doing its job. Thank it later. And pro tip, if you're cooking your asparagus to the point of mush, you're killing off its precious nutrients. Instead, try eating it raw, grated into a salad. Next up, celery. Yep, celery, the veggie that's been getting bullied for being low calorie and basically water in solid form. But here's the twist. Celery is loaded with nutrients and comes with some serious diuretic powers. Thanks to a compound called phthalates, celery acts as a natural vasodilator, fighting hypertension. So yeah, celery is not as boring as you thought. Now let's get one thing clear. These veggies, you can juice them, throw them in a salad, blend them into smoothies. I don't care if you have to sneak them into your meals like a parent hiding vegetables in mac and cheese. There's always a way to get them in your diet if you're serious about fighting fluid retention. It's veggie time! Because, of course, fluid retention is a big issue for CKD patients. I mean, you are probably already taking at least one medication for it. So number 3, let's talk about diuretic supplements. But not those sketchy herbal supplements that mess with your prescription meds. No, thank you. We're looking at the good stuff, essential vitamins and minerals. There are, in fact, certain vitamins and minerals that will make the diuretics your doctor prescribed work better. First up, vitamin B1, also known as thiamine. Why is this important? Because a deficiency in B1 can leave you with fluid retention, which is just ironic since your diuretics, the very first things meant to help you, might be causing that deficiency in the first place. So yeah, your diuretics could be indirectly sabotaging you. Isn't that special? Make sure you're not running low on B1. Next on the list, vitamin C, the detox king. Not only does it boost your immune system, but it also helps your body flush out excess fluids like it's Marie Kondo-ing your insides.
When you touch an item which does not spark joy, you would feel...
So if you're low on vitamin C, you're basically saying, no thanks, I prefer to keep all this water weight. But does it spark joy? And of course, there are essential minerals that can also cause fluid retention if they are too low. One is very unexpected: potassium. Yes, potassium, that thing you've always been scared of. But here's the twist. While hyperkalemia or too much potassium is a real concern, potassium deficiency or hypokalemia is just as dangerous. A deficiency in potassium can lead to fluid retention, and it may be caused by taking loop diuretics. So be very careful with this level as well. Make sure you are monitoring your serum potassium regularly. Now, there is one nutrient that's even more important when it comes to fluid retention. This one is often very low in people with CKD, and without it, the ability of the body of processing fluids may be compromised. If you don't get enough of this nutrient from foods or from supplements, swelling may be a direct consequence. But you may also have trouble sleeping and, in extreme cases, even become depressed. I'm talking about vitamin B6. B6 is key for hemoglobin formation, metabolism, brain function, and it also regulates fluid balance in the body. Studies found evidence that increasing B6 intake may directly help reduce water retention. Studies also linked low levels of this nutrient to inflammation. One more reason to make sure you are getting enough B6. Now, maybe the most important piece of the puzzle when it comes to fighting fluid retention is magnesium. This mineral is involved in more than 300 enzymatic reactions that keep your body and renal system functioning properly. Recently, magnesium made the headlines because low levels of this mineral were linked to a faster decline in kidney function and earlier death. Unfortunately, in people with CKD, very often this mineral is too low. And if you're low on this bad boy, not only will your kidneys start checking out early, but you're also inviting hypertension, thyroid problems, phosphorus imbalances, and a faster progression to kidney failure. Trust me, a magnesium deficiency definitely does not spark joy. Keep an eye on this mineral and consider supplementation if needed. Okay, time for our number 2. Let's talk about another toxin you absolutely want to get rid your kidneys from. So like for the other toxins we have seen today, we are going to see both some dietary changes and some remedies to get rid of this one. So which toxin is the most dangerous for your kidneys? Well, the toxin we should do our best to remove is excess phosphorus. In fact, in medical literature, there are documented cases of CKD patients who were able to go back 2 whole stages of kidney disease just by controlling their phosphorus level. But how do we do that, you ask? First of all, with the diet. Now, getting rid of phosphorus is less about what you eat and more about what you avoid eating. Yes, guys, the key to success here is avoidance, which also happens to be my strategy at family reunions. Yeah, probably the most important part of the renal diet is avoiding foods rich in phosphorus. Some common dietary sources of phosphorus include dairy products, red meat, poultry, and seafood. Processed foods such as deli meats, bacon, sausage, sodas, and sport drinks are also high in phosphorus since phosphates are used as food preservatives. Foods such as baked goods, morning cereals, sauces, and many other packaged foods may also be rich in phosphate. And these foods need to be completely avoided. So always double check the labels of what you are buying. Now, there are other foods that contain phosphorus that don't need to be completely avoided. These include legumes, nuts, whole wheat breads, and cereals, and some vegetables such as asparagus, tomatoes, and cauliflower. They do have some phosphorus, but they do not worry us. Why, you ask? Well, not all phosphorus is created equal. Phosphorus from plants is like your co-workers who's working from home. It's technically there, but it's not really doing much. Phosphorus from animals and from additives is different. It's pulling all-nighters and its job, destroying your kidneys. So in short, always avoid meat, fish, dairy, and processed foods with added phosphates. And do not worry about grains, nuts, and seeds. The phosphorus they contain is not nearly as dangerous. Avoiding them won't help. But guys, do you know what can really help reduce your phosphorus level? Our number 1 for today, which is a vitamin that acts as a phosphate binder. In fact, in order to control phosphorus, you will probably also need a detoxifier or a phosphate binder. I usually recommend calcium carbonate. However, in this case study, they didn't use that to lower phosphorus levels in this patient. As you can see, in order to get this back to stage 2 from stage 4, they use a particular version of niacin or vitamin B3. But how does this work, you ask? And who should take niacin instead of calcium carbonate? The answer is in my recent video. It's up here and also down in description. And this is all for today. Thank you for watching. God bless you all. Take care. Bye-bye.